Look, you want to talk about what it means to be a man? Just look at someone like, and hear me out, Andrew Tate. The guy's made it. Success, power, respect. He's not afraid to say that men should be dominant. That's what gets results. He's living proof that being tough, assertive, not letting anyone walk over you is the way to win in life. Are you serious? Tate's views are toxic, not to mention he's been arrested for some pretty heinous crimes. That's not masculinity. That's just controlling people and treating women like objects. What about someone like, I don't know, Terry Crews? He talks about vulnerability, about how men can be emotionally open and still strong. That's the kind of masculinity we need more of. Balanced and healthy. Terry Crews, come on. That guy's just pandering. The world doesn't respect men like that. They respect strength, power, and success. Tate's showing us what being a real man looks like. Someone who takes what he wants and doesn't apologize for it. But that's not strength. That's insecurity. Being loud and aggressive doesn't mean you're strong. It means you're afraid of being vulnerable. Crews, on the other hand, is showing real strength by admitting his mistakes, talking about his emotions, and standing up for what's right. That's a man who's secure in who he is, not hiding behind some macho facade.
Hey, it sounds like we're really getting into it now. Different perspectives on masculinity from some big figures. But it feels like there's some black and white thinking happening here. Jordan, you're saying someone like Andrew Tate represents real masculinity. While Chris, you see people like Terry Crews as the ideal. What if there's more nuance to this?
There's no nuance. If men would be honest, Tate's living the life every guy wants. Crews is soft. That's it.
I hear you, Jordan. It sounds like you admire Tate's success and strength. Is it possible that someone can be strong without being dominant? That maybe both Tate and Crews are showing different types of strength, even if we don't agree with all of their views.
Yeah, but Tate's views on women and power are harmful. That's not strength. That's control and manipulation.
It's very important to acknowledge that a lot of Tate's views are definitely harmful, especially in how they promote power over others rather than power with others. Let's take a step back and look at the broader picture. Jordan, you're seeing Tate as successful, powerful, and respected. Can we also ask, though, at what cost does that come? What happens to relationships, to mental health, when everything is framed as domination or control?
I don't know, man. All I'm saying is that he's got what most guys want. Money, status, influence. Isn't that the goal?
It's understandable to want success and respect. That's a valid desire. If we look at this dialectically, we can ask, are there other ways to achieve success and respect that don't rely on dominance or rigid ideas about masculinity? Can men like Terry Crews who focus on vulnerability still be successful and respected, just in a different way?
But Crews doesn't have the same level of power Tate has. The world's always been about survival of the fittest. If you're not tough, you get left behind. Or maybe we've been taught that's the only way. Crews is successful too, but he's doing it by connecting with people, by standing up for others. That's strength. I'd argue it's harder to be vulnerable in a world that expects men to be closed off. He's showing a new kind of masculinity.
It sounds like we're touching on an important distinction here. What does success really mean? Jordan, you're associating success with power and control, while Chris, you're looking at success through a lens of emotional connection and responsibility. Both perspectives are valid. What if we didn't have to choose one or the other? What if there's room for a version of masculinity that balances success with empathy, power with responsibility?
But that's not how the world works. People like Tate prove that dominance wins.
I hear that you see the world as a tough place, where dominance is rewarded. And in some spaces, that may be true. Have you noticed how we're only focusing on one type of masculinity? What if we checked the facts and saw that there are men out there, like Crews, like Keanu Reeves, like even Fred Rogers, who are respected for their kindness, their humility, and their emotional strength?
Yeah, but those guys aren't the norm. Maybe they should be. We're not saying men like Tate don't exist, but that doesn't mean they're the best model for what it means to be a man. It's not about being soft, Jordan. It's about being whole. Masculinity doesn't have to mean dominance. It can mean connection, vulnerability, strength, and empathy, all at the same time.
This brings us back to the dialectics again. What if we embraced a definition of masculinity that isn't rigid or fixed, but adaptable? One where men can still achieve success and respect, but in a way that doesn't require controlling others. It doesn't mean rejecting traditional masculinity outright, but maybe expanding what it can be.
I don't know. It still feels like being soft gets you taken advantage of in the real world.
It's totally valid to worry about that. What if we consider that emotional awareness and connection are also forms of strength, ones that protect you in different ways? Vulnerability, after all, doesn't mean weakness. It can be about showing who you really are and building deeper connections, which can actually make you stronger, not weaker.
Yeah, it's like what Brene Brown says. Vulnerability is the most accurate measure of courage. It's not about being soft. It's about being real. Maybe. I'm still not sure, but I'll think about it. It's hard to change your mindset on something as important as this.
And that's okay. It's a process. The important part is staying open and curious, like you are right now. We don't have to settle this today. Just keep thinking about what kind of man you want to be. And remember, there's more than one path to strength and respect.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess there's more to think about than I thought.